What is up, everybody? Dennis here from Windmill Slam doing a Dragons of Tarkir draft. And I'm going to level with you, I don't have an awful lot of experience with this format. I've done one draft and one pre-release sealed. But I might just take the Ojitai's command here. It's not crazy good and limited. It's okay. Counter target spell is not as relevant as you would like in limited a lot of the time. But it's not bad for 4 mana counter target spell draw a card. Let's dismiss. And that's a good card. I'm going to see how much it's worth online, because that is something you have to consider sometimes. Ojitai's command. It won't load. I was only worth like 2 tickets online. With that in mind, I might just take the Butcher instead. Yeah, I think I take the Silumgar Butcher instead. Ojitai's command is a fun card, but I really like friggin' Silumgar in the draft I've done so far. It's just Demir, they're not fooling anybody. What do you do? Oh, you're the big hexproof one. Okay. Yeah, Ojitai's command is only worth about 2 tickets online, so it's not worth taking for value, I don't think. I like Monastery Lore Master, that's a card I like a bit. Reduce the stature is also not bad at all. Sarkhan's Rage is a pretty solid card as well. Don't really want to go into red though. Don't really want to go into Colligan. I'd much rather be in Silumgar with the Butcher as a starting pick. This guy's fine. 6 mana 3/3 flying hexproof. It's not terrible. Not bad at all. I think I'm gonna take the Lore Master instead though. Yeah, I think that's a more interesting card. Down to the Skies, good Dual Lurker is a card I like a good bit. Ojitai Interceptor is great though. That's a card I like quite a lot. Another Sarkhan's Rage. This card's just fine. 5 mana instant, probably kill anything, often deal 2 damage to. Also hits your opponent, so you can use it as a laugh axe. It's not bad at all. Colligan Aspen's a card I like a bit too. But Ojitai Interceptor is sweet. Another Sarkhan's Rage. Marsh Hulk is not bad at all. I'm not married to black, but Silumgar Butcher is very good. It's not bad either. I guess I'll take the Marsh Hulk. Got a bunch of Megamorphs, which is nice now. But I really want the Palace Familiars and the Youthful Scholars and, you know, the more of these and the Vulture, is it called Vulture Saving? The one that lets you sign in blood? That's the kind of thing we're looking for. It's a pre-release Swiss draft. I'm going to play it a little looser today. Try have a little bit of fun. I think I have more fun with Silumgar than I would have with the Ojitai's command. Here, Hand of Silumgar is totally good. Ojitai's Breath is totally good too. Don't want either of these. This is a solid card. Very solid card. Breath or Hand of Silumgar. I'm going to take the Hand of Silumgar, I think. I'm not likely to be an aggressive deck, so I'm not really going to capitalize too much on the Breath. Oh, that dried up pretty bad. Arch Maneuver is pretty good. I guess I'll pick it up. We don't really want the Glint. So I guess I'll pick up the Artful Maneuver. I think it's probably just the best card in the pack. Sandstep Scavenger is pretty good. Kittled Fear is a card I like a good bit as well, but I guess I'll take the Artful Maneuver. Need to start considering non-creatures to pick up for this thing. Otherwise just a 4 mana 3/2, which isn't terrible, but it's not amazing. That's just a sorcery speed on, so 95% of the time. Not a fan of this, not a fan of this. It's okay sideboard tech, I suppose. Not a fan of any of these Silumgar cards here, really. 5 mana for 2/5 is not something I'm really interested in. I guess I'll take the Karsi Sadis. I really don't like it though. I want to make that very clear. I'm not a huge fan of this either. Ugh. I'll take the dress for the board, I suppose. Home on a 3/4 that bounces something is far from Ugin's construct, I'm afraid. Pack 1 has not gone great for us. I might have jumped a little too hard into Silumgar, but I really want to play with the deck. And we got the Butcher, and I think I got kind of blindsided after that. Intercept is very good. Lore Master is pretty solid. Hand of Silumgar is fine. Great curve filler. Take on Strike. It's okay. Another Marshal is also fine. Straight up counterspell if you have dragons. This is an interesting combat trick, sort of. I think I want the Titan Strike here over the second Marshal. There's nothing here. Oh, I suppose we could very well play this. So negate over another Dragon Fire, probably. This card isn't good, but it's not terrible. So hopefully Pack 2 will be better for us because it's coming in the opposite direction. We can pick up some more useful things. Hopefully some more youthful things. A couple of youthful scholars would be nice. Another one of these would be great. What are you currently tag him striking with? This thing? Not bad at all. This or this? Also pretty solid. Kind of grind our opponent out. Get a long game going. Maybe get a little bit of a board stall. And then get in there with the Titan Strike. It's not an amazing card. I think it's just okay. I haven't played with it yet, but I think it's just okay. I think I like it a little better than Dance to the Skywise. Dance to the Skywise is only ever upgrading your things so much. It's probably giving Crush you +2/+2 and flying until end of turn. Which is a pretty solid combat trick, I suppose. Ooh, a Sidisi. I like her. I like her a lot. I'm going to take a look at the rest of the pack first. Updraft Elemental, Icebreakers, Reckless Imp is fine. It's not great. Not blocking is a big downside. Spellfist is okay. Felton Shriek I hate. Don't love the Void Squall. Although that is a pretty good tempo play, I suppose. Yeah, the biggest reason I like Sidisi is because she's a 5-mana 4/6 Death Touch, and I don't really need to read much more after that, to be honest. I really don't. There's birds singing outside. I'm sure it's very peaceful. I don't know if you guys can hear, but it's very peaceful. I don't think Negate's main deckable in, or same with Duress, in really any format. But, oh, that's a card I like a lot. That's a card I like a lot too, though. I like this as well. I love this as well. No, I think I have to take the Youthful Scholar over the second Butcher, because we currently don't really have any fodder. We have two pretty good exploit cards, and I guess we take the uncommon over the common. But, oh, I would have liked that Silumgar Butcher, man. Why'd they have to come together? I wouldn't mind the Dutiful Attendant either. God, sucks. But a 4-drop's nice. What do we have here? Another Ode to Intercept, which I'm a fan of. It's just a solid card, I think. Another Lore Master, which I'm also a fan of, although we currently only have this to get back with it, so let's maybe not jump to the conclusions there. It's a sideboard card. No. I think it's a pretty clear Interceptor here. Try to beat our opponent's there in the air. This is a perfectly respectable card to cast on turn 4 as well. Just as a 3-1 flyer. Morphing on turn 3, flipping it up on turn 4 though. Make it a 4-2 flyer, now you're talking. But if you ever go turn 4 Youthful Scholar, turn 5 Silumgar Butcher, you draw 2 cards, kill one of their things. It's a hell of a sequence. Remember when this card was first spawned, they're talking on Reddit about how no one realized he was chained to the bed for a long time. I'm not sure how I feel about Marsh Hulk yet. It's kind of just a big beefer. Ooh, a flatten. I'll take that. Happy with that. Good thing for our Monastery Lore Master, especially if we get another one, though it's not super likely. Flatten is a card I'm a big fan of, though. Throttle is playable, this is just better. Deathwind's also just better than Throttle. And Throttle was totally playable. As predicted, Pack 2 was going much better than Pack 1 did. Ooh, yay! Hello, Joe! Wouldn't have minded this, but very happy to see this. Get in my deck, please. Hopefully we'll pick up some Jeskai Sages and Sultan Emissaries and the Fatal Force back. We could still pick up a Palace Familiar, I suppose. It's totally plausible. I think we're past the point of picking up another Youthful Scholar, to be honest, but... Sadist I'm really not excited about. That's probably going to be the first thing on the chopping block, assuming we get enough playables. Happy to see this DC though. Tutoring is one thing. We don't really have anything to tutor for. If we open like Silumgar himself in the next pack, sure, awesome. But otherwise, I'm probably just going to be casting her a lot of the time as a 4/6. What do I think of Silumgar Monument? I think it's probably the pick, considering we don't want, not to say this, we don't want Virulent Plague, but it's not a card I'm a huge fan of, if I'll be honest. Jason Sasha is totally playable. You really want to save it for bombs though. You don't want to value make something an O2 because they still get to block with it. But it's a solid answer to some things you can't destroy otherwise, and especially in blue. Blue doesn't really get that kind of effect a lot. So you take it when you get it. As for the Monument, I think they're okay. I'm not looking to play it. I could. 3 mana, 2/3. Both discard a card when ETBs or contradict. I quite like contradict. I like it more in seal than I do in draft. Naturally. Sipsig Icebreakers. We've got 10 creatures. I'm going to take the contradict. 3 mana 2/3 are totally replaceable. Okay. We have a Reckless Imp or a Elusive Spell Fist. Our deck is kind of controlling, but we've got some decent flyers. And adding a Reckless Imp to that wouldn't be a bad idea. 2 mana 1/3 with a weird prowess type effect is okay, but I think I'd like the Reckless Imp a little more. Skirmisher is just a bear. That is a late Great Teacher Decree. Skirmisher is good though, I'll take that. It's a warrior, if that comes up. Probably won't. I'm going to cut the Monument, I think. We got the Icebreakers, so that's good. Definitely solid. I guess we can take the card for sideboard tech, although I'd be really very hesitant to bring it in. What are we hoping to open here? Mistfire Adept would be great. I'll even sell it for Lotus Path Djinn. What else is in Fatal Force that we really want? Obviously Silumgar himself would be good. Either the black or blue Sieges would be happy with, I think. Flamer Shredder not on our radar, I'm afraid. Jeskai Sage is, though. I'm not really happy to pick it up first, but I'm not picking Hooded Assassin, Shifting Loyalties, or Karsi High Priest. So So Jeskai Sage it is, I'm afraid, for our Silumgar Butchers and our Sidisi. Which isn't bad, I'm happy to have it. But I said I wanted one, I just didn't really want to first pick it. I have to expect this pack to be a little bit crappier again. I think we're getting cut pretty hard from this direction. Ojutai himself, Battle Brawler, who will never be turned on in our deck. Right into being Sultai Emissary, Lotus Path Jin, or Dowsing Gloom. Those are 3 cards that I'm pretty interested in. I think we'll wheel the Sultai Emissary. I think that's going to come back to us. Do we want the Jin, the Right, or the Douse are the questions. And I think this deck might want the Jin a little more, maybe. It's a good 4-drop. But we're pretty low on removal, so I think I will just probably take the Douse here. I could see either of these picks, and I could see justifying the Right into Being as well. I could even see taking the Ojutai and splashing it, but I'm going to take the Dowsing Gloom here, I think. I think that's close, though, for what it's worth. Will of the Naga, Ancestral Vengeance, Sibsig Muck Draggers. It's a 9-drop. How much was the Dismal Backwater here? I could see taking the Sibsig Muck Draggers. We've got some good stuff to get back. I can definitely see that, but I really don't like this card. 9 mana is a lot even with Delve. And now it's our only Delve card, so we'll probably be able to cast it pretty cheaply. It's just a 3/6. Let's say we cast it for, let's hope 5. That won't be on turn 5 though. 3/6 with a Gravedigger effect on it. It's not bad at all. But those are kind of butting up against each other, the Delve and the Creature card. I'm just going to take the Backwater. Construct, Scoured Barons, oh, not sorry, it's not Scoured Barons, Construct or Alesh's Vanguard. A lot of Construct here, we got a lot of Megamorphs. There's a decent chance we'll be able to get it down without having to sack anything, and we can, there's stuff that's good to sack as well. I'm happy with that. Vengeance, wow, that is an exceptionally late Valorous stance. That is stupidly late. Jeez. We are definitely in the wrong colours here. I'm going to take the Will for the board. I could consider playing it. I could definitely see myself. But there's the Siege. There's an Aven Surveyor though. Wow. I'll snap that up. I was happy with the Siege. Just for the additional loot at the start of every turn. But I think I want the Aven Surveyor much more than that. There's an Emissary, which I'm happy to pick up over here, over the Shadow Spear. More fuel for our exploits. If we move these down here, helps out our curve a tiny bit. Our 5 is still very stacked, unfortunately. So if we chuck Douse and Gloom sometimes on turn 3, I would say. Flatten reasonably often on turn 4, I think is. Oh, a nice another one. I'm much rather this than the stupid Carsey Sadist. There's the pack we opened. Is Hooded Assassin better than the Sibsig Icebreakers? Probably. There's not too much downside to having a +1/+1 counter. We didn't pick up any cards that give it upside, and this does have an additional effect. I mean, each player discards a card is fine too, but I like this better, I think. Neither is great. They're just 3 mana 2/3s, really. I think I want the Right into Being more than the Tigum Strike here. Although we do have some beef now. I mean, a lot of it's kind of evasive anyway. I wouldn't call this beef, but you know. A lot of our cards are evasive anyway. I mean, yeah, there's games that are very much won by chucking a Tigum Strike on a Marshhawk. That's a real thing. But I don't think that's really what we're looking to do. I think we're looking to lock down the ground a little. Remove some problematic stuff with our Flatten and maybe even our Douse and Gloom and our Butchers. Get a little extra value out of the Scholar, the Emissaries, and the Jeskai Sage. And then beat them in the air, hopefully. And have a random Contradict also in our deck. I could see running the other 2/3, the Icebreakers, over the Contradict. But I actually like Contradict. If we can establish a powerful Sky game, Contradict is going to come in handy. Definitely going 18 lands with so many 5-drops, I think, though. All these 2-drops make Ugin's Construct worse, but It's okay with so much good stuff to sacrifice. I think I'm okay with it. Get Backwater in there. And then probably just 8 of each. Yeah. Doesn't that give me 41? No, it doesn't. I'm an idiot. Probably do want more black. We have double blue, but it's pretty close, really. And that still gives us, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 blue sources, 10 black sources. Yeah, we're good. I'm happy with that. Alright, let's see how it works out. Okay, this hand is obviously a very simple mulligan. Yeah, I guess this is a keep. It's not amazing, but I don't think our deck's too amazing, so I think this will do. It's not a bad draw. We can morph that. Or megamorph it, sorry. I was going to say something about Sultan. I don't like Stormrider Rig at all. Ooh. Yeah, I guess that's good for us, but yeah, I was going to say, sorry, I remember now. I was going to say we're in the awkward position. We've kind of gotten out of it now, but we were in the awkward position with that hand with just the Emissary, the Swamps, and the Flatten, where you want to draw both lands and spells in sort of very specific orders and ratios. And we seem to have been done okay here, but the odds of that actually happening are pretty slim a lot of the time. Wow, he got the Siege, that's fine. I assume he's going to go for cans. Yeah. That would seem like the logical thing to do. Got a good sequence here. If we turn 3 this, like this, then we flatten something. Hopefully we can still flatten it. We probably will be able to. Then when we flatten it, we do something else on turn 5, hopefully. I mean, the nut would be to draw Silumgar Butcher. Get this out of the way. And another creature. Then we flip this up and get our flatten back. That's a pretty nice turn of events. He's going to get to sculpt his draws a little bit with the Monastery Siege, but I think we can handle that. Based on the hand we opened with, we've drawn pretty well, and our opponent hasn't done an awful lot yet. Like, it's turn 4 and he hasn't impacted the board at all, even though he's cast 2 spells. Stormrider Rig is not amazing. +1/+1 is just too small in effect, even if the equip cost is quote unquote free for me. Maybe it's better than I think it is, but I don't really like it. I really don't like it. It's just not worth a card in my eyes. You know? If you can cast it on turn 2 when you might not necessarily have been casting anything else, it's a good thing to slot in. And it definitely does work. It doesn't do nothing. It's just not impactful enough for me. So long as this thing doesn't have 4 toughness. If it has 4 toughness, we're in a bit of an awkward position. Can't flatten it outright. We can flatten it in conjunction with the Sultan Emissary. Alright, still not doing anything. Wow. I mean, we're not exactly putting the screws to him either. We get to leave up flatten here, probably. And then just kill whatever he plays before this lands on it. What did he ditch? He ditched Ojutai. What's he doing? He's going for the... Maybe he thinks he won't have time to get there? That's a fantastic draw. If we flatten something this turn, contradict something the following turn, get back whichever suits better. That's sick. Our opponent would have to play a creature for us to be able to flatten it, but he's going to have to start doing that at some point. And in white-blue, we're probably going to be able to kill this 5-drop with our flatten. We get to do it with the trigger from the Stormrider Rig on stack. Is it the Deathmist Raptor that's been flattened in this? Certainly looks like it. I had Deathmist Raptor in my pre-release sealed pool yesterday. I didn't get a chance to play it, unfortunately. The colours didn't work out. I got a foil Sidisi though. Foil Undead Vizier, which was nice. She was good. Wouldn't mind drawing her either. Put a little bit of pressure on, but at this point, it might be wiser to just leave up the Contradict next turn. We have no reason to really develop our board to say if we draw Sidisi. And Contradict is going to draw us a card. It's a straight 2 for 1 if we can get a good target for it. Okay. Please be big. At least big-ish. That doesn't do anything. He invests a bunch of mana and then we flatten it. That's terrible for him. Has he really got nothing? Wow. Okay. Draw. Great draw. I think, like I said, I think I'm going to leave up to Contradict here. Or if he wants to animate this to attack with it, we can just flatten it immediately, which is great. I'm not going to cast a Silumgar Butcher just as a 3/3. Much rather leave up my Contradict. I thought there was an anticipation coming there. Another land, okay. Wouldn't be surprised if we see this coming up this turn, or at least see this thing left back. If there's a big scary 6-drop, we got it covered. I like our position here a lot. We had a particularly unexciting draw, to be perfectly honest. Our opponent just hasn't really done anything. Like, it's turn 6 and he hasn't played a creature yet. Like, I know that there are control decks out there, but even control decks in Limited have to play creatures, you know? Control Limited you play with blocking, and he's done none of that. Okay. If this is the plan, we're going to kind of blow him out. Going to spend all of his mana to animate it, and then we just shoot it right out of the skies. Now that does give him free reign next turn to cast a spell through our Contradict. That's definitely true. Is there a dragon incoming here? There must be, right? Okay. Huh. Brutal. Next turn we have the Butcher, plus the Sultai Emissary to get something out of the way. Now, it does have to be a very small thing, because I assume he's going to... And this all assuming he plays a creature, which is not really his MO so far. But it has to be a 2/2, because I assume he's going to put the Storm Rider rig on it. But if his deck has so few creatures, why is he playing this? It doesn't make any sense. He's got Center Soul and stuff, so he must have creatures in there. Maybe he just hasn't. Maybe he had a particularly unexciting draw. I mean, he's gotten to draw 2 cards a turn, and one of the cards he ditched was Ojutai. Now he could be cast that now as a 5/6 Vigilance, and to be honest, there's not a lot. Assuming we didn't contradict on the way down, there is not a lot we can do about that once it hits the table. Not at all. We could reduce it in stature, I suppose. But 5/6 Vigilance with the freeze effect, we really could not hold a candle to that. In fact, we need to keep that in mind for our Contradict for future games. So the best thing you could play here is something with 2 toughness, which is unlikely, I admit, for that much mana and that many cards. Yeah, it's a 2/4 first strike. We've got Defender. You know, like, what's the plan here? Can blank it for a turn with the Butcher. I don't really fancy doing that though. Okay. Passing here with the Contradict up. If by the end of his turn he hasn't given us a good thing to contradict, I will be flipping my Lore Master up to get my flatten back to flatten that Dragon's Eye. What do you call it? Dragon's Eye Sentry. Card I'm not a fan of. Although if you're going to play a blue-white control deck, this is the kind of card you want. 1/3 first strike shuts down a fair bit of ground game. Not a whole bunch, but a fair bit. And I mean, the 2/4 first strike is a tough. I was supposed to say difficult. That's a tough thing to punch through. But like, we have had probably the least aggressive start possible for our deck. We haven't done any of our flyers, and we still managed to get down to 10 before we did anything at all that's in any way meaningful. might get contradicted. What enchantment are we getting back? No targets, are there? No. Oh, I get the room mark back. You know what? That's annoying. Let's not let him have that. Construct's okay here. Sack the emissary. It's not bad at all. Big enough to punch through this. Aven Surveyor. Now you're talking. Now you're speaking my language. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's get bouncy. This might be the deck to bring that Tygun Strike in against, to be honest. It's going to be this slow. I think we might have to bring it in. Aiden Surveyor's putting a little bit of pressure on him now. In the air. He got a lot of target creature spells and a lot of enchantments and stuff, but he's got no creatures. It would seem. Ooh, what's a card? Do you reveal something? Belltoll Dragon, that's also a card. One 5, not amazing. Here's all the stuff now. Are you chucking it on there now? Okay. Got a fair few options here now. It's probably going to be attack with the Aven Surveyor. I think it's actually cast the Ugin's Construct first. And sack my Sultai Emissary. I think that's the current plan. Because the Ugin's Construct, as it sits, punches through everything here. Upgrading this is far from bad. Swamp is not something I'm that happy to draw. If I attack with the Aven Surveyor, I can then mark 2 damage onto this Orator. I know he's got the dragon in hand, the 3/3. But our Ugin's Construct is going to be able to start punching in pretty soon. And killing this is something I'm interested in doing, so I'm just going to get out of the way now, because we can't target the dragon with this anyway. We're likely to just throw away his manifest by attacking. Although we'll probably just sack it to the butcher, I suppose, actually, yeah. Never mind. If he plays that morph, that Megamorph Dragon, and attaches the Monastery Siege to it, not the Monastery Siege, the Stormrider Rake to make it a 4/4 if he plays it face up. If he plays it face down, I hope of eventually making a 5/5, we get to blow him out by killing it with the butcher, because it won't have hexproof when it's face down. But if he just plays it as a 3/3 and attaches the Rake to make it a 4/4, our Ugin's Construct punches through it pretty nicely. You can trade the Construct for it if he double blocks. And lets our other stuff maybe get in. And lets us maybe clear something out after blocks with the butcher. But if he morphs it, we're going to get him. Now, if he megamorphs 2 things, we have a very, very interesting game of 3-card Monty to play here. Pacifism, that's annoying. Turning the Construct, I suppose. Aven Surveyor. Okay. That's getting exploited. Really got to give some value then. That's the thing. Let it exploit some thing. That's awesome. Can't afford to cast the dragon now. That's worth noting. Okay. gonna pop off the construct. That's bad, I won't lie, that's bad. He's gonna hit me with a 4/4 and then cast the morph. I imagine that's what's incoming here. Yeah. Yep. Then Megamorph, attach the Stormlighter rig to it, I think is what. No, he's just passing. Alright, interesting. This gives us 10 mana, which means we can attack with these two, morph this up, get back our flatten, and still have the flatten to cast whenever we want. That's nice. Let him make blocks here first. I assume this is going to happen. That's fine, because I don't really want to flatten this. I do want to hit him for 4, though. That'd be something I'm definitely interested in. Did I calculate that wrong? We only have 9 mana. I'm an idiot. I am an idiot. For some reason I thought we had more mana than that. Oh, that was dumb. I mean, that's still not a bad play. Getting him down to 3 and getting the flatten back. We can still cast both of these next turn. So, we obviously can cast him on the hexproof thing, but if we clear the rest of the stuff off the board, we can kill him. Oh no, we can't actually kill him. Well, you'd have to trade for this. If he wants to play the hexproof guy face up. You'd have to trade for that. And take 2, and then we'd have our butcher on the battlefield as well. And he'd have nothing. Which is... Oh, I'm an idiot. Did he discard this ages ago? He discarded this last turn. He discarded the belt. That's the only thing that's a real pain for us. So, I mean, he could have any number of things left. He's drawn almost his entire deck, so this could be anything now. But that was the thing I was afraid of. We can give something -7/-7 currently, so. Now, Dragon Lord Ojutai we cannot kill. Because it has hexproof. He did not attach the rig to it, which means this will still trade for it, which is nice. And in fact, we'll have to. Oh, wow. That's aggressive. That is very aggressive. Now he has to trade for it because he attacked. And we don't even need to use our flatten. We can leave that up. Wow. 4, 5. Let's get a butcher down. Sack our surveyor to pop off the Dragon's Eye Sentry. And then he must block our 4/3 with his to trade it for his Dragon Lord Ojutai, and we hit him for 2 down to 1. And we got flatten up. We can't flatten this thing, but we can certainly flatten this. Or whatever we want on his end step, I suppose. It's a really, really long, grindy game. Uh-oh. This could put a dampener on things. Ojutai's Breath? That costs 3. That's the only thing I can think of that it could cast. That it would cast begin combat and not after attacks. I'm sure there's other stuff that's just not coming to me at the moment. Will the Naga. He could have that Will the Naga. That's pretty bad. Not gonna lie, that's pretty bad. Okay. We have ourselves a game here because that Dragon Lord Ojutai hits pretty hard. And he has definitely bought himself some time now. So our stuff doesn't untap. Not great for us. 2/4 doesn't change the clock, so I don't really feel I need to flatten it. Oh god. Okay. Okay, doesn't this do something stupid when it happens? Draw some, looks at some cards, yeah. That's really annoying. Yeah, well, that has to get flattened, I'm afraid. It's too annoying, and I don't really fancy losing the 2 life. Best draw here is probably Youthful Scholar. Stacey's not bad either. He bashes the Dragon Lord. I'm going to cast a DC and sack Manifest to go get something meaningful. Quite what it is yet, I don't know. Could very well just be the Youthful Scholar. So you can cast it this turn, exploit it next turn to our Silumgar Butcher. Interestingly, I think I can still say no at this point, but yes. Douse and Gloom, Hand of Silumgar, Marsh Hulk, Ojutai, Interceptor, Right into Beam, Jeskai Sage, Hooded Assassin. It's probably just the Youthful Scholar, I'm afraid. It's just a super good thing to exploit next turn. I mean, Sidisi does punch through the dragon. She still trades for it even if he puts the Storm Matter rig on it. He also has to start applying pressure to us because he's drawing 2 cards a turn, and that's that's becoming a concern. He's also wasted 15 minutes on game 1, and he's not. I think he's very clearly behind in this game as well. So if he has to win 2 more games, he's gonna have trouble doing it. He's got both Ojutais though. That's pretty nice. It's a nice little flavor thing. Where is it? There it is. There he is. God, that card's good. That card's really good. Maybe in a World of Dragons now, but the Khans are still pretty solid cards, even if they're not Khans anymore. Stuff on taps next turn. All of our creatures are lethal. This is the Scholarism, but that's probably going to get sacked with combat to the Butcher. In fact, it almost certainly is. Bad news for us though is that having just looked at our deck, I've realised that our deck is running out of meaningful draws, to be honest. Like Douse and Gloom isn't bad, although it obviously doesn't do anything on this board. But that might be maybe able to pop off a blocker, which is relevant. Oh, he's coming in with the Dragon Lord. That's pretty desperate unless he's got another World in Aggro or something. They just go on the bottom, don't they? You're gonna be drawing those pretty soon, buddy. He's played almost his entire deck. We better be able to butcher this, actually. Profaner. It's a hell of a card. All this does is bounce the 2/2. You're currently dead, buddy. You're currently dead. An removal spell means he's not dead. But he has to chump then? He has 1 removal spell. I doubt he has 2 with this. His 1 removal spell, he has to chump, or I suppose he trades here, takes 3, kills Sidisi, goes to... No, he's just dead. He needs 2 removal spells. I don't think he has that with 3 cards. Ojutai's Breath, if that's what this is not good enough. Pressure Point, that shouldn't be good enough. I don't believe that's good enough. Okay, finally. Got there in the end. 9 minutes left on his clock. Pressure point and stuff like that, and the Will of the Naga make me really not want to bring in the Tigam Strike. Negate, we didn't really see any super meaningful instants or sorceries. It's really his dragons that I'm worried about. Neutralizing Blast hits both of those. Was there much? There wasn't much other multicolored stuff though. Don't think it's worth it. Nothing to duress. I think we're actually just okay. I could see bringing the Neutralizing Blast for either the two Ojutais, but there was not anything else in his deck that really had that kind of impact, and they're very late plays, the Ojutais. Our opponent's deck is good. It would appear that he just didn't draw any of his defensive stuff in the top half of his deck in game 1, which is very unfortunate for him. That Stormrider rig is definitely a very strange inclusion, though. I don't understand that at all. Like, yeah, it makes some of his guys better blockers, but I really don't think that's what a card. Time could definitely be an issue for him. He has to win 2 games now. It took him, 16 minutes to lose the first game. So, like, what turn did we even get to there? 12. Now that's definitely a very long game. Turn 12 is a long game, but it's not crazy long. It's not like turn 19 or whatever. Like, I'm not saying it's not a slow game. It is a slow game, but I don't think it's a 16-minute game. That's a minute a turn. That's more than a minute a turn. It's taking full-time sideboarding as well. I don't know how much use that information is, but it's probably worth noting. Like, the thing about Magic Online is there's no way of knowing if he's taking his full-time sideboarding or he went to go make a sandwich, so. At this point, I'm going to pause the recording. Like, he's going to... Oh, there we go. Just as soon as I said that, he comes back. Right, that's an easy mulligan again. I forgot I mulliganed to 6 in the last game and kept it a sketchy one as well. He did too. We're going to kindly join him. This is a little better. We can morph this. So we're on the draw. Reducing stature is good against one Ojutai, awkward against the other. Because the other one's hexproof. And it's actually not great in this deck. I could have seen side in this set, actually. Currently, if we just keep it in land drops, I probably won't cast the Emissary, and I'll just megamorph this into Ugin's Construct, which is a big threat. Although sacking this Ulta Emissary is far from bad. What do I do? Do I cast the Emissary? No, the Emissary has utility later. I'd rather hold on to it than have to sack it to the Ugin's Construct. I'd much rather sack it to a Sidisi or a Silumgar Butcher, you know? Nice, happy to see that. We go turn 3 Ojutai Interceptor, turn 4 Ugin's Construct, turn 5 Leave Up, Contradict, / Megamorph. I was going to counter this? Really? That's fine if he does that. Yeah, alright. Okay, main deck Silumgar score, and he does have a couple dragons to be fair. But otherwise that's just a blue Force Spike, which is less than amazing in limited, I feel. Although we found a good spot for it here. Rather we counter that than our construct though, so that's nice. What's coming down here? Nothing? He's got a Valorous stance in his deck, we know that. That could easily be the end of this. Oh, he has Soul of Winter, which is the one that I can reduce in stature, so that's good. That's a beater, man. Alright, let's get the construct down. That punches through this, which is nice. Next turn, we probably, unfortunately, leave up Contradict. We can Sultai Emissary reduce something in stature if you play something really scary, but we're probably just leave up Contradict and smash with this bad boy. And sort of do that for the foreseeable future. Hopefully we get to counter a Valorous stance. Hopefully it's not immediately incoming. That'd be bad. If this is a Valorous stance, that's bad for us. He keeps tapping and tapping his mana. I don't know why. Did that last turn for this as well. Please don't be Valorous stance. Please be your stupid sentry. Oh no. Ugh. That sucks. Okay. Again, he's not putting any pressure on us though. And I hate, as much as I hate doing this, this might be our win condition. It's been it's what, 5 turns? I'm just going to pass the Contradict up here. Wait to counter that Ojitar probably. It's been what, 5 turns? It's taken him 2 full minutes. He hasn't really done anything. And he has to win another game after this one. What? It's got Defender. Just building a 1/7 Defender. Ew. I hate it. I hate it. That's so terrible. I mean, hey, it's definitely... that thing is a hell of a problem to punch through now, but auras, for me, the inherent 2-for-1 you get from casting an aura like that, you really have to overcome it by being an aura that must be answered immediately. Like, Mark of the Vampire comes up on that end of the spectrum. It's that kind of card where, yeah, it's a 2-for-1 if they destroy it, or if they kill your guy, either in response or shortly thereafter, but they have to kill your guy pretty quick, or they're in trouble. The Megamorph you can hold on to, I think. I think that's okay. It's probably just the big dragon. Which, I won't lie, sucks. If it is. Just gonna pass here. I could reduce in stature Hooded Assassin. That's not terrible. And then if he flips it up, it's a 1/3. 20 turn clock. Also Hooded Assassin. Guess morph this. But I think I just like leaving him Contradict more. Again, like, he's still 2 lands off his Ojitai, so that's not coming anytime soon. At least not until the turn after this one at the very earliest. And it doesn't look like it's going to be this turn either. This thing costs, if it is that dragon, that costs 7 to flip up, I believe, the Bell-Toll Dragon. So we have time there as well. But at this point, we've got to start adding to the board pretty quick, I think. Time or not. If he casts anything that costs 4 mana or more here, I think I'm gonna just knock off this contradict and go for it. Nothing. Straight nothing. Okay. Well, that was us cast the Emissary as well. That's good. It's something. Ready? Don't love him drawing that card. You know what? Fine. Take my freaking Contradict, finally, because I want to draw a card. And I actually wouldn't mind having this on the battlefield, because I want to draw my butchers and things. That might have been silly of me, but him getting to 7 mana and us not being able to stem the tide is probably the way we lose this game. So I really don't want to draw on that card. I don't think we're going to win this. I don't think we're going to deal 20 damage to him. God. I don't think that's going to happen in this game. So, like, this is such a wall that we can't really break through. We can even surveyor it, I guess. So what we have to do is play the clock. And not letting him cast his Ojitai is a great way to play the clock. There's the Butcher I was hoping for. That's excellent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to leave up Swamp, actually. Get to pop this off before he flips it up. That's great. This and the Manifest both attack through that 1/7. That's what I'm going to keep the Hooded Assassin for, actually. That's a nice little play we can do. Is there a Glaring Aegis or something, or whatever it's called, coming in here? Not a Glaring Aegis. The hexproof one. Center Soul. That works. Give Pro Black. Alright, fine. Still a 1/1. That's a swamp. The Lore Master is going to come down for me here. He can go fetch Contradict at some point, which is nice. It's definitely not nothing. Built up a good little force for ourselves here as well. Still doesn't have the lands, even if he draws one, to either flip that or to cast his big Ojutai. You can cast a smaller Ojutai, and if he does do that, we're in trouble because that thing is hexproof. And there's really not a lot I can do about it. I can flip up an Ojutai Interceptor. That'll trade for it, that'll block and trade for it. Sidisi can attack into it. But not a whole bunch we can do. What does that even go and get? Nothing. I mean, it can sometimes go get Glaring Ages, but it currently has no legal targets. It's a 4/3 though, which is not nothing. Protection from black, still can't attack, I'll trade it from a Manifest. Snapping that off. Absolutely. If that's that big dragon, I am very happy to do this. He is sub 5 minutes at this point with at least a whole other game to go. It is a dragon. I'm very happy with that. Great draw. Attacking with both here. I'm happy with any of these trades. I would like to put this up first to get my Contradict back, but... And I think I would do that if he blocks. But if he doesn't block like this, then I'm going to just cast the Hooded Assassin to pop this bad boy off. Pardon me. It is on 20. You could just take this hit. It's not crazy huge. It's 5 damage. When he takes it, that's fine. I'm going to pass the turn. I could have gotten in for an extra 2 damage to get my Contradict back, but I think I'd rather he be afraid that I have another Contradict. Because like I said, we're unlikely to win this game on damage. Oh, is this the big Ojutai? The 5/1? 5 mana one? That would be bad if it is. Profane of the Dead is not so bad. Actually, not that bad. That's okay. If he sacks this, though, he does bounce all of our stuff. Although some of the stuff I wouldn't mind recasting at all. Okay. Nope, so this just means we cast Silumgar Butcher. We cast Jeskai Sage, exploit it with Silumgar Butcher to kill this. That's fine. That's a fine turn. Although we actually probably kill this, because the Silumgar Butcher can still trade for this, whereas it couldn't trade for this if the Stormbringer Rig got equipped to it, so we'll do that instead, I guess. Okay. Jeskai Sage. Silumgar Butcher. Okay. Yeah. Boom. Draw Marshall. Can't quite cast it, but that's okay. So go. Opponent on 3.5 minutes. Down a game in game 2. We're still on 12 life. He's got no good attacks. He still doesn't have enough land for his big Ojutai in his hand. Pacifism's not amazing for us. Hopefully we can exploit that away for some value at some point. And then he conceded. Because he realized time was too much of an issue, I suppose. Alright, cool. Sorry for the long, very, very drawn out. We're not even the last people playing, God. Very drawn out game. Match, but we'll see you in round 2. I am very late to this game. I didn't realize it was started. But I'm here now. So sorry, Dice Vader. Sorry about that. This is definitely a keep. 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop. I'm game. Both of our colors. 2-drop and the 3-drop aren't amazing, but they're certainly fine. It's a pretty aggressive draw from us. So I think we're likely to be the beat 10, depending on what our opponent does. Especially considering we're on the play. Great. The ideal follow-up to all this stuff would be a Silumgar Butcher. Or indeed a Sidisi. Sidisi would be okay too. If we whiff on the lands, we can just flip this up for... Oh, sorry, I was thinking of the Interceptor, not so this. Sorry. Okay, I think we can offer the trade here. This is fine with me. If he wants to accept. Yeah, that's cool. Go ahead, buddy. We have Contradict up on turn 5. Ooh, that's a hell of a card. Wowee. Oh, that's going to get doused to all hell. He's going to attack with it. He's going to be like, aha, I bolster my thing. And I'm going to be like, Zapparoonie. Getcha. It's much more profitable than playing the Youthful Scholar. Especially because that's first strike. Well, chopping with Youthful Scholar wouldn't be that bad. Obviously, we'd probably just take 2 in this instance. But if this is going to get out of hand, like if he doesn't play any other creatures, it's going to be a problem. Now, if he protects this somehow here, we actually might have a little bit of trouble. I'm going to have to hope he doesn't. Uh-oh. That's really bad. Yep, that's really bad for us. We got... It's still a 1-for-1. We don't take any damage because we gain 2 life. Oh, we take 2 damage. My mistake. That card's a real house. Hooded Assassin, not a ton of use. This thing, not a ton of use. Contradict, maybe some amount of use. Actually, Hooded Assassin is useful. My bad, because he has to bolster this if he attacks. So, let's get the Hooded Assassin down, I think. Yeah, this is going to get flying, but he has to throw this away to do that, so maybe he just won't do that. Now, if he removes the Hooded Assassin, that's bad, because we have to trade our Morph. Which is far from optimum. And he'll be left with a 3/2 flyer, which is no joke. His deck seems very good so far. Got a lot of +1/+1 synergy. Guardian Shieldmate. Or Shieldbearer, sorry. Guardian Shieldbearer, Lightwalker, and Dromoka Captain all interact favorably with each other. Go. Yeah, I don't fancy our odds too much here, but thankfully this game probably isn't going to go to time, which is nice because we started off. I was supposed to start off 7 minutes behind. We've already caught up a little bit. Map the waste. That's terrible. That's really terrible. Because now it's a flyer, and now you can put the counter on the Dromoka Captain. Whew, that's bad. Yeah, you attack with this too, buddy. God, that's terrible. Whew. I don't know if we can beat this. In fact, I'm almost certain that we can't. Sidisi would help a little. Sidisi would help a little bit. Flatten might help us race it. Might make that viable-ish. You know? That's not good. In fact, just a 1-drop is pretty bad for us here. Almost regardless of what it is. I think I'm going to play Youthful Scholar here. It dissuades him from attacking a little bit. Buys us some life. You can't tap it. You can absolutely tap it. And there's not a whole ton I can do about that. In fact, he almost certainly will tap it, but none of these are profitable blocks, so I think I have to attack with them and force him to use the 2 mana to tap it. Yeah. We're just in really bad shape here. I don't think we can beat this. He must bolster onto either the Tapper or the Lightwalker. I assume it's the Lightwalker. Yeah, that's to be expected. Yep. Now you can bolster. Now he wants to bolster onto the tapper, so that's nice. That's something. Oh, we can bolster onto that. Okay. Alright. Yeah, this is so bad against +1 counters. We're just dead here. We're dead to the flyers. That one, we got stomped. We got absolutely annihilated. We could have made this an 0-2. That wouldn't be strictly dead, but I don't think we're winning that game. Now then. We definitely don't want the reducing stature because that doesn't do anything. That's not very good against +1 counters at all. Do we want the Ancestral Vengeance? Probably still no. I want the Tigum Strike. That might be okay. Yeah. Okay. No, the Tapper does Stonewall the Tigum Strike. I'm aware of that. That's a terrible hand. This is better, but not amazing. It doesn't need help getting there. Although Right into Being helps a little bit. If the Manifest is crappy, we can always sack it to the Butcher. Giant Interceptor is a good play as well. Butcher's big enough that getting the Tigum's strike on it is very significant. Same with the Interceptor, especially if you flip it up, although it's evasive by itself, so it's a little less potent. Beautiful draw. I would like to follow it up with a land. And that's a great thing for our Butcher too. That's great. Land would be perfect here. Excellent. Right into Being. And we're going to want to draw a land as well. Beautiful. Wow. That just flips up. This effect doesn't happen. Right? Yeah, no. That's just a free 4/5. That is sick. Next turn, probably just cast our Giant Interceptor, I would imagine. Oh, I hate that thing. But we're going to be able to butcher that for quite a while, I believe. And we get a good attack in here. I'm just going to cast this. I don't care. I shouldn't attack with this, but I can definitely attack with the Ugin's Construct. Our draw has been pretty excellent here, and if we hit a land off the top here, we're in brilliant shape. He does get an attack in here, which he takes sensibly. You can't blame him for that. Depending on what he plays here, there is an argument for no, there isn't really. I was gonna say there's an argument for butchering that instead if we draw the land. It does depend on what it is. Obviously, there are some things I would butcher. Oh, well, we're not butchering that because we can't. Land, beautiful. Bye-bye. Don't want you doing that to this. Let's trade you in. Kill you. Thinking off the trade from our Ugin's Construct. Even flipped up, this still trades for it. And he's actually not that incentivized to trade here because this is like quite likely a land in his eyes. Smash. Excellent. Our best draw here is probably just another Butcher, really. Stacey's not bad either. She'd probably just go to get a Butcher, though. Dromica is bad. I'm not gonna lie. Although we can win with the Tigum Strike. Put it on this. It's guaranteed 5 damage. We're guaranteed to get 2 more in this way. That should be lethal if this thing survives. Otherwise, Dromica is going to take over the game so quickly that I think this is our best course of action. Great for us. He chose the wrong Manifest. He should always choose the one that we chose to put face down, to be honest, rather than the way we randomly flipped off the Emissary. But now, even if the Butcher dies, this is still lethal with the Tycam Strike, which is great. Is he going to bolt make this a 7/7? He's not. Okay. Which of these is a more valuable creature? I guess the Construct, so I'll be targeting the Butcher, which is tempted to win. Have to imagine it's not going to happen, based on how we played that. So, yeah, there it is, the Reach of Shadows, that's fine. Oh, if we pick the other one, we would have won. Ugh. I still stand by my decision. Not a bad draw. I'm going to pass. I believe I'm going to pass here. I could attack this into that. He must block. And then we cast the Butcher to 2 for 1 ourselves to kill Dromoka. However, there is a world in which we can win. If... see, the problem is 4 damage is not enough. That's the problem here. My plan, what I'm thinking is I want to flip up the Ugin's Construct and then Butcher as blocker. And get him that way. Oh, we don't need to push that blocker. He's almost got Formidable off that though. He's about to get Formidable. He has Formidable now, so that's bad. He's about to lose it pretty quickly. Although if Dromoka attacks, I think we're going to just lose this game. Can't believe we would have won if we targeted that thing. I wasn't thinking about Reach of Shadows. I mean, Reach of Shadows is I should have thought about Reach of Shadows and Ultimate Price, I guess. Those I didn't see those cards last game though, so I was thinking more along the lines of Pressure Point or whatever, that kind of thing. Like, yeah, that's crazy terrible for us. We can make him chump with his 4/4 if we by butchering the 2/2, but he's still got his 5/5. It's not even a chump, by the way. You can just take 4. Probably won't. There's a couple of things that just kill him if he does that, so he probably won't do that, but it's totally reasonable. Swamp is not much good to us. I think I have to make him jump with his 4/4 by getting rid of my Butcher here, just to knock him off Formidable if nothing else. Even the coat with Venom here is lethal, so he's probably going to block. Dromoka would still take more than 2 hits to kill us unless he just doesn't play anything. If he doesn't play anything, he hits us for 7 and then 9. But that's a little all in. Wow, he goes to 1. Okay. And then he attacks and we go to... I mean, we probably go to dead if he can flip up the Megamorph. Which, now that I think about it, with 6 mana he probably can. I assumed he would be too worried about Code of Venom and will block. Because he's still likely to win that game anyway. But, this should just be a win for when he flips up that Megamorph now. Bolsters 2. I have to imagine it's going to at least grow to a 3/3. I doubt it's a 1/1. I don't know if there is one that's a 1/1, but I don't think there is. I'm pretty certain this is all she wrote, though. I could have played the land to make him worry about Ultimate Price, and in fact, I probably should have. I assume that Morph is Mega Colored. That would be scary for him. He wouldn't want to make him less like a Oasis turn. We've almost caught up on time, but I'm pretty certain it's not going to matter here unless I've got it disconnected. So they did not. That's good enough too. I mean, I'll let him attack with both, but... Oh, sorry, that's not good enough, no. Unless he can also flip it up. Oh, we're not dead. Go to 1. There's literally nothing we could draw, so it's as good as, I think. Yeah, we got absolutely annihilated that match, so let's see if we can pull it back in the 3rd round. Final round! Okay, let's see if we can pull out a victory. That's a good hand. Needs an island eventually, but it's pretty solid. 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop. If we hit an island, we can get Youthful Scholar into Silumgar Butcher, which is a 6 sequence. Oh, pardon me. Our opponent keeps. Let's have ourselves some magic, kiddos. Can we achieve the Windmill Slam 2-1? Yeah, so early impressions of Dragons, I think I like it. It's not amazing, I'm not blown away, but I think it's a solid set. It's a nice way to round off the block. They have a lot of 3rd set problems, a lot of middle set problems in designing three set blocks. That's part of why they're getting rid of them. This one's a little bit different and it has that weird pivot set in the middle. You know, we went triple cons, fate, and now we're going dragons, fate. I'm pretty sure that's a unique draft structure. And then rotation gets really awkward after this for a while as they transition to doing 2 set blocks. Is our opponent double queuing or are they just tanking? I think they were just tanking. That's fine. I'll smash into that island off the top. Beautiful. Hashtag called it. Okay. Silumgar mirror match. This might have been the guy to our left. Or to our right. But I'll be honest, we've got a beautiful sequence coming up here. Just insane. It's a 3-for-1. Although, not, I suppose not, because the Youthful Scholar himself is a 2-for-1. Yeah, it is 3-for-1, because the Silumgar Butcher is 2-for-1, and the Scholar himself is a 2-for-1. When he dies. So yeah, it's a 3-for-1. And giving something -2/-3, that's probably going to be a pretty valuable creature. It's proven to be pretty solid so far. There are things obviously that are too big for it to hit, but I thought Silumgar Butcher was going to be good, and I think that's borne true after a while. It's definitely very powerful. Opponent not doing anything, which is great for us. Drawing a Marsh Hulk. Attack here, leaving up the flip on the Urgent Interceptor if it becomes necessary. I don't think it will. Okay. Just going straight for the Youthful Scholar here. Oh no, a counter? Really? Ooh, that's a hell of a card. That is a hell of a card. Silumgar Sorcerer is really, really good. Yeah, he exploits his familiar and everything. That's sick. That's a 3-for-1 for him. Oh no, I suppose it's not. It's only really a 2-for-1 because this thing dies but replaces itself. Ordinarily, it would be a 2 for. No, actually, hang on. I'm trying to figure this out now. He counted my things. That's +1. He gets a creature. That's +1. So it's only a 2-for-1. Yeah. He traded this for a card though, which is parity. Although the card's probably going to be better than the boss winner. Frostwalker I'm not too worried about. It's not that scary. Especially considering how close you are to just casting our Marsh Hulk. Ugin's Construct, that is a card I'm happy to see. I'm going to bash with my Skirmisher here. Hopefully to its death. And then it's probably just going to play my Ugin's Construct. This isn't a crazy trade for him. It's not amazing, but it's not crazy. That sucked though. I would have really liked this Youthful Scholar. Would have been great. I had strong suspicions that this card was also insane, and that's also turned out to be the case. Come at me, bro. Okay, reducing stature, that means that's getting butchered immediately, in favor of probably killing this, to be honest. Or the walker. Oh, it's getting Sidisi'd now, I think. Now I think it's getting Sidisi'd, because Sidisi eats that. Yeah, it's getting Sidisi'd, buddy. What does Sidisi fetch here? Probably just flatten, just to have. Surveyor's not bad either. Nor is a second Butcher or a Reckless Imp. Got a lot of good things we could get here. I might get the... Oh, I don't have an island for the Severus. That's kind of discouraging. I might get the Dows. The Dows is probably good. I'm going to get the Dows and Gloom. Don't have to reveal it or anything. Yeah, so DC eats this. Then we can Dows this. Flip this up at some point and beat him to death with it, I think. This is the sequence of events we're going to go for here. Now, if he kills the Sidisi, if he just knocks off an ultimate price here or something, we're taking big hits and we're not in the best of shape. Anything we... I'd like him to tap out of black or to tap out, you know, less than 2 because I don't want him really sacrificing the flyer in response to my Dows and Gloom. I would like that life and I would like him to not have a manifest. But then if he's only going to do something that costs 3 mana this turn, I think that's okay for us. Again, if Sidisi gets pacified or reduced... Oh, I suppose I can't pacify, but if she gets reduced in stature again, we can cash her in with the Butcher. This card's still being good, just goes to show how insane Skin Render is, by the way. Like, obviously 3-1/1 counters is a lot better than -3/-3 in Slender Turn, but a lot of the time it's pretty comparable. Oh, wow. Lose 3 gains. Okay. Need a land now. Cool. I don't want to give him this Marshal, but he can't flip it up yet. So it's not that bad. I suppose I just Douse and Gloom the Marshal now, don't I? And then the gains is gone forever. Now we might have to cash in the Butcher on that 2/1 flyer because we're on a low enough light total now. It sucks having to Douse my own creature. That is really bad, but I really don't want to keep handing him stuff. And I had to get my Sidisi back. Really? That's worrisome. We might just sack it though. But I have to block here. Can't be taking 6. I imagine we either have a trick or this is getting cashed in. Well, I suppose it couldn't be a trick. He could have flatten. Or something in that range. But yeah, that's something in that range, alright. Okay. That's beautiful. I don't quite have enough to do all the stuff I would like to do, really. Can't just attack because he kills us. I mean, we can't flip an attack. Unfortunately, probably just have to cash in the Butcher to kill his Butcher. Get in for 2. Hope he doesn't have a creature. And then, or something with only 2 power would be good, because then we can see if we can't really reduce in stature as flyer, because if we do that, he just leaves it back to block, and then we don't win. I feel like there's some decisions I could have made differently here. Oh, that sucks. That really sucks a lot. He ditches a land, I assume. Yeah, that's really bad. Okay. We need something big here. And we hit swamp. See, he's so close to dead, like, that really sucks. I'm to take down the flyer with that. And then hope he doesn't have a creature, and hope we do have a creature that's bigger than his 2/3. That's the way this goes from here, I think. He attacks with both. Ah, really? I mean, the trade's happening. I suppose there's no reason to attack with both. That could have been a Marsh Hulk. Yeah, if he has a creature, we're in bad shape. Although we do have 2 turns now. Sight beyond sight. Don't love that card. I know it has revamp, but I don't love it. It's kind of divination with more selection. I think it's probably a little worse than Bitter Rev. That's okay. It does get you 2 prize triggers, which is not nothing, but I'm not the craziest fan. Full-time Emissary also removal proofs us, and if we get lucky with the manifest, we could flip up a butcher or something. So flipping a butcher just gives us a 3/3 though. It doesn't. We don't get to use it again or anything. Same goes for an Aven Surveyor. Aven Surveyor will be bad because we don't get to make it a 3/3. Of course, flipping up a land is not the worst because if we draw that land, we're just dead. What do you got? Pardon me. Uh-oh. What's the Delver? Wildenaga? Soul Flare! With flying. Well, that's a disaster. Top deck Aven Surveyor? Oh no, attack, wow. Top deck Aven Surveyor, okay, Island's not going to do it. Top deck Aven Surveyor could have cut it. So we could bounce it and then we'd have to draw like, I don't know, Tugum Strike maybe, get us there in a way. Yeah. That game was super tight, but we didn't get there, so I think we can beat his deck though. Do we have any good tech? No, not really. Some reasonable things worth dressing, but I don't think I'm going to bring it in. I'm really reluctant to bring these 2 cards in. I have to see something really special. Like Citadel Siege, I'd bring in Negate or Duress. But random removal spells and draw spells aren't enough for me to bring him in from the board, I think. Or I don't think I should say. I'm not a huge fan of Soul Flare. I think it's just a Holy Mandals for black sometimes. Holy Mandals was good. And you can giving it flying isn't crazy if you have some flyers in your deck, but to go really stupid with it is difficult. And a 4/4 flyer for that much delve is, hey, that's a real card. And there is upside there, but flying is really what you want to have to give it. Like giving it Death Touch doesn't do a whole ton. Same with giving it Trample. I mean, those are all upsides, of course, but flying is the one you're looking for. Vigilance is good too. Flying is what you're looking for. And if you can give it flying like we just saw, that is pretty good. I think people get a little best case scenario when they look at the card though, and try to evaluate it for the first time. Yes, please. Good hand. Come on. That's not bad at all. Haven't drawn this yet, but that's not a bad hand at all. 2-drop, 3-drop. This card I think I actually quite like. 2-2 and Death Touch. It does some work. Oh, he's gone to 6. Is he going to go to 5? He's not. That's fine. Swamp, go. What cards would I want to douse and gloom immediately? A Megamorph would probably be doused rather than playing the Reckless Imp. Reducing Stature is a card that I'm growing less fond of the more I play with it. And I haven't played with it very much, I admit. Played with cards similar to it before, but it's really not amazing. Even in a normal set, like in a different set, like they still get to block with the creature. If that's +1/+1 counters, they still apply. ++ counters are very relevant in this set. I think I might douse that. Yeah, I'm going to douse that. This doesn't... You can dash that later. Yeah. And in a set where you have +1/+1 counters matters, a lot, like quite a few +1/+1 counters around. And a 1/3 is, you know, approaching worth a card. 0-2 is obviously not, but a 1/3 is. And exploit. Exploit means you can really do a lot to mitigate the damage this causes. I'm going to spend all my mana here to cast the Youthful Scholar rather than casting the Imp, I think. Don't get counted again, please. Ah! I played right into that. I really did play right into it. I mean, it's a 1-for-1. It's not that bad, but I would have liked to hold on to that. I mean, the other option was to cast the Reckless Imp. He might not have countered that. Probably would have just flashed this in, though. Anyway, and that might have been better, but I just didn't think that was the card he had, you know? Probably should have, but I didn't. Soft Lair? With flying? Yeah. And Death Touch, wow. Well, it's meant to be an 0-2, so... Just so you know. It's meant to be an 0-2. We're going to dash in the Imp as well, which is nice. Get some beats in. We are out of cards though now. This is all we got. And our opponent's still got 3. So it's not going to be hard for them to pull ahead. But as it's on the board, we're not in bad shape at all. He's got an 0-2 Death Touch Flyer. He's not blocking with it. That's fine. Can't blame him for that. He might be able to block much more damage later. There might be something in his deck that can knock this off of it. You know? Palace Winner is not one of those things though. I'd like them to be using all of my mana. I'm considering whether I dash. Just dash this again or do I cast it? Depends on what we draw, at least to some extent. Right into being means we're casting it, I think. Because we can use all of our mana then. Oof, excellent. Manifest you. You go to the bottom. Casting you now, I think. Obviously not attacking this into that. This thing's on pretty strict blocking duty for the foreseeable future. Or, you know, exploiting duty. If we draw a Sidisi or a Butcher. Didn't get any Vulture savings. That's a card I like quite a bit. I had some in my sealed pool last night. The 2-3 format 2-3-5s that let you exploit to lose life, draw 2 cards. It's a very, very good effect. We hit this one Blackwater. Well, it's worth casting. Don't know what my opponent's representing here, but I'm going to attack. This can't block, and this is likely to survive. Even if he manages to knock this off to go block it, we can flip it up and it'll still trade. Now, if he probably will, if he was going to do that, he'd block this probably, I suppose, because it draws flying. Half your life total, unless you have a removal spell. Nope. Awesome. End of turn. Still nothing. Wow, maybe he's just flooded. Definitely a real possibility that he's just flooded here. Wouldn't be surprised at all. He mulliganed to 6. He's flooded had a great draw. He went 2-drop, 3-drop into friggin' Soulflare, Flying Death Touch. That's a strong start. We're lucky we had the stature. We can flatten it too. Flatten works. Butcher plus combat works, but that's not really something I'm excited about. After their answers start to run pretty short, I think that's basically it. So we are lucky we had the reducing stature. Okay, he didn't do anything last turn, so he might just not do anything again this turn. Emissary is going to come down. That's a nice card to have. He's definitely going to block something here. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if I saw this, or indeed this. But I imagine that Palace... Either he's going to kill some of our stuff, pretty sharpish, or I imagine that Palace Mirror is not long for this world. Double chump. Alright. That's fine. He gets his card, I get my Emissary, and we have him kind of up against the ropes here now. I could have attacked with this that turn, but I really didn't want to trade it for the Palace Familiar. Now that the Familiar is gone, I'll be much more inclined to send it into the red zone, but I really didn't want to trade it for the Familiar. That's a 2-for-1 at that point. Where did he hit? Ultimate price? Okay, that's not even that bad. This is sort of more significant, to be honest. This is also difficult to block, profitably, because it'll trade for anything. Illusory gains, maybe? That'd be bad. Have to be targeting this, I think. Targeting this isn't great. We just get him for 3 and then he's on 3. We also have a ton of good draws against illusory gains. I mean, most of our creatures is just a good draw. Any removal? Removal's a little sketchy. Aven Surveyor is a nice little bit of tech because you bounce the creature back to your hand and you knock off the illusory gains. That's not so bad at all. Oh, really? I don't like that card at all. Ghastly Conscription. That's what he went for. Wait, did he target me? Yeah. So he's got... I don't even remember what those are. What the hell were those? Oh, I don't remember what those were at all. One of them was a Youthful Scholar because he countered it. Don't remember what the other one is, though. He's going to close out the game pretty quick. I really don't remember what the other one is. I'm going to send this in too. If he wants to block that, he takes 2, and that's significant enough for me. Plus, we could upgrade it to a Manifest. That's fine. If he takes 2, then that makes this lethal in the air. Wow, he's going to 1. Alright. Reckless Imp was the other thing. Okay, he's doing that because it can't block when he flips it up. Which means this was the Youthful Scholar that he countered, I believe. And then the Sorcery? Yeah, must be. Okay. We've got 3 creatures. One of them's bet to be evasive. What do you got? You're 1 card better deal with these 2 creatures. I know that's a Youthful Scholar. That's a Panic Attack. It's funny to say Panic Attack, but that's what that is. It's Desperation, I think. I think we've got him dead to rights, and we do! Awesome, game 3. Yeah, it was my Youthful Scholar. Okay. I can't believe I forgot what they were. Apologies for the yawning. I didn't get very much sleep last night. One more game to try and secure a 2-1. Probably should have thought about sideboarding more than I did, but I don't think there's anything I want to bring in. We could have brought in the negate for the illusory gains. That wouldn't have been crazy, but I'm not that big a fan of that card. If we just give him like a Palace Familiar even, like that's probably fine. Okay. 2, 3, 4. Great hand. Especially if we draw a Butcher or a Sidisi or something. But this hand is excellent. It's better not get countered again. It's a good draw as well. Whoa, 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 brown paper, white paper, stick it together. I hate that card. As in, it's not that I find it annoying. I just think it's bad. Ooh, okay. A lot of our drawn all of our fodder here. I like the emissary a little bit in the Sage, I think. Although the Sage could punch through the Karsi High Priest, that probably would have been smarter. Fight with to attack. He blocks the Sage with his High Priest probably. I blow up whatever this creature is with the Dancing Gloom. The prowess lets me kill the High Priest. That would have been great. That would have been nice. Now this is a Megamorph. I'm going to be kicking myself. Okay, I can't kill that anyways. That's nice. What am I discarding here? Probably the Jeskai Sage. I kind of need to hold on to these lands. Probably going to be the Sage. Hopefully it's just as tough a decision for my opponent. Based on the amount of time he's taking, it looks like he's having trouble deciding, which is just probably good news for us. Although it means he's got good cards in his hand that he has to think about probably, which is not great news for us. Our hand isn't amazing at all. I need lands too much. Sorry, Sage, you discarded a gate. We don't even have any good targets for that. We have a flatten, I guess. I could sort of 2-for-1 myself by attacking here, having him block and Dancing Gloom, but he probably just blocks here, so casting the Imp seems just as good. Holding out for that Silumgar Butcher to use to crack our Youthful Scholar, that'd be beautiful. Silumgar Sorcerer only counters creatures, so he can cast our Dancing Gloom safely. If he leaves up the mana for it again. He did not. I'm not a fan of Updraft Element either, that's very good. Island's fine, I'm going to use this chance to resolve my Scholar. This does block my Updraft, or this does block my Imp very effectively. And my Imp can't block, so I'm going to attack with it in case you forget, but it's very unlikely. Considering I can't block, there's very little downside to this. Ah, I remembered. Okay. You never know. I've seen people make much stupider mistakes than that, me included, so worth a shot. Sight Beyond Sight is not a card I'm scared of, but I'd rather he wasn't drawing cards, I suppose. But if that's all he's doing for his turn, that's probably okay with me, I think. Could definitely see myself dousing the Karsi High Priest here. That's probably what's going to happen because I don't want that to generate value for him over the course of the game. I could douse my own Youthful Scholar, but I don't think that's necessarily worth it. I can see myself attacking with everything here. This won't die, this can't die, and either of these are dying. It's probably just good news for me. So I could totally see myself doing that, but I think I'm going to try and hold it a little longer for a Butcher or a Sidisi or something. Something that really lets me get value out of the Scholar. Or indeed the Emissary. What's that? It's just, wow, real defensive. Our Ojai Interceptors can punch through this if we morph them, so that's good. Another Sultai Emissary. Okay. We're stalled out here. His deck's probably better than ours in a stall. Has he got any flyers in the bin? If he does, that's not good for us. He doesn't. Okay, that's not too bad. Means the Soul Flare is much less good. It's just a 4/4. Which you would immediately chuck a Youthful Scholar on both Sultai Emissaries in front of. Draw 2 cards, put manifest 2 cards. That's awesome. Familiar doesn't worry me either. We'll just stall out. Attacking with the Imp is now a big no-no because he can double block, draw a card, and kill it. Now you're talking. Oh, don't counter this though. Stupid Silumgar Sorcerer. I'm gonna wait a turn. At least one turn. Let him flash it in if he wants. But I really cannot afford to have him cast that. Sack his Palace Familiar. Alright, he's out of the blue. Makes me feel much better if I cast my Sidisi to go get probably a Butcher. And sacking my Youthful Scholar. That's pretty beautiful. Might even draw another Butcher. It's a free attack. Excellent. Well, it's happening now. Okay. Yep. It's going to be a Butcher. Almost certainly. Those are great draws. Now we're getting somewhere. Not the worst. CDC got reached, but I'm just gonna morph the other one, by the way. I'm gonna cast the Butcher. I'm gonna kill the Palace Familiar here, unfortunately. I think that's what I have to do. Because he can double block the 4/2s, so. Killing the Palace Familiar is obviously not optimum, but it's better than having to double block my guys. What do we hit? We hit an island, that's good. Cast this face down. Next turn we will have enough mana to flip them both up. Attack for 8 in the air. Now, barring even a I was going to say barring a Soul Flare, we're in good shape. But even with a Soul Flare, wouldn't be that bad for us here. We just flip up both our guys and start smashing. Yep, here we go. Now, it's honestly, this plan is far from airtight, but it's definitely not bad. It's a 3-turn clock if it survives. It's a 2.5 turn clock. Really. Okay, that sucks. Cut with Venom's not amazing, but the other one still eats the up-tapped elemental after that. Unless he's got a kill for it. He doesn't have an emissary, that's fine. That's fine for us. Could have attacked the Reckless Imp there, actually. That was silly. I've completely forgotten about him. Could have gotten in with that there. No flare, no flare. Quit it. At this point, a flare is just kind of bad for us. We can race it. Because we're ahead and our 4-power flare is better than his, but I still rather not have it. The 4 cards are kind of scaring me. I miss my Sidisi. What would the Lore Master get back? Thousand Gloom? Yeah, wouldn't be too terrible. Wouldn't be great. I mean, I'd also rather have it in my hand than not, but I wouldn't be too happy about it. Ooh, illusory gains is bad, bad, bad news. Okay. Marshulk. Don't love that either. Puts me in real awkward shape. I need this back. I'll cast the Marshal face down. You can flip it up if he wants, but I'm going to be chucking the Emissary in front of it if he does that. We have this to chump with. We probably win that race still. Also, obviously, Avon Surveyor. Let's just steal it back. He actually doesn't have enough mana at the moment. He needs the land. There it is. So if he wants to flip up the Marshal now, that's fine. Do I still get to know this is going to Magic Online? No, I don't. Interesting. The onus is on me to remember. That's fine. I do. Third face down creature is the Marshhawk. Also, it's the one with the illusory gains on it. Also, it's probably the one that will not be remaining face down much longer. Our opponent's down to 6 minutes on the clock. It's probably not going to matter. We're at turn 12 and we've got a 4-turn clock on him in the air and hopefully long enough to survive on the ground. It's really a 5-turn clock because he can jump at least once with the Elemental. Ah, here comes the Soul Flare. With flying. That's bad. Ooh. I would have loved my own reduced in stature. But it looks like this one's getting away from us, I think. Flatten, not bad. Flatten, not bad at all. Probably going to be used to kill the Soul Flare, to be honest. We can get a Death Touch or something to take the Marshal down eventually. Whenever our Assault... Oh, actually, we get our Marshal back. Whatever our Assault Emissary manifests, he's what he gets. So flipping that Marshal up to attack with it is not amazing for him. You should still get to see the manifest, I believe. It's a Avon Surveyor, that's fine. It's just a 2/2 flyer. You can have that. I get Marshal back. I can't afford to flip it up right now, though. What's the last card in your hand? Please just be like another Ancient Carp or something crap. Oh, did you just flip that up? Oh, okay, just flip it up. That's fine. Okay, Marshal's coming in. There's a 5/7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He can chuck a ton of stuff in front of it if he wants to. That's plausible. But we're going to be taking down a bunch of things if he does do that. That's all. That's okay. Have your manifest. Oh no. Is there a Butcher's Lee? Coat with Venom. That is bad for us. Oh, I think even Leo's okay. I'm going to kill it then. He's eventually going to get that manifest, and I don't mind if it's now, to be honest. We are now definitely behind. Our opponent's clock is starting to come into play, though. We've got blockers for his flyers, so he's not killing us anytime soon. We are playing creatures as of sketchy benefit to us because of his illusory gains. That's probably bad news. Manifest scare, but I think I have to chuck the Butcher in front of it and see what it is. There's a lot of stuff it could be that's good, but the Butcher's holding a lot of stuff at bay. I'll chuck the island in front of it, make him do it. Frostwalker, that's fine. Glad of the island, not the Butcher now. You're of limited use. Won't lie, of limited use. I can cast you and flip you. I can set you and flip, or not set you. That's Yu-Gi-Oh. play you face down, and then with that trigger on the stack, flip you up to go get something. It will probably be flattened. We'll probably be flattening that thing, to be honest. But that Megamorph is a big deal all of a sudden. Our opponent continues to draw gas, and it is... What is it? He's nothing. Okay. He's only played 8 lands, so there's probably 10 of those last cards are probably lands. So that gives me some degree of hope. That if we can continue to stall, he gets on one to go and get. Coat with Venom, sight beyond sight, negate. Coat with Venom. Okay, whatever. What did he sack? Wait, what? How did he get? Why did he have so many cards in his hand all of a sudden? What happened there? For some reason I thought he only had one card in his hand at the time. Except he did? That was weird. It looked like he had way more. Alright, take a 2-2, give me back my big guy, please. Then let me flatten your big guy. I know you got a coat with Venom and all, but I still need you to have a big guy. Let me flatten that. And now 10 of those last 4 cards should be lands, so you probably shouldn't have a whole ton to do here, buddy. You know? I think we're okay. We're still on 19, so... Now, he's copped on the time is an issue for him, and that he also has more cards left in his deck than we do. Are we really going to get decked here? Is that what's going to happen? Like, we're not going to win on time like this. See, I was going to reduce this in stature, but he can coat with Venom it. I could trade for my friggin' bird. Either bird. We didn't trade, I just eat. Ugh, so awkward. Mark 2 damage on it, that's good. And reduce the stature will kill it. Unless he uses he has to use the Venom in response to save it, and then he doesn't get the Death Touch effect. Okay. Now we have a reasonable Air Force coming. Interestingly, that Palace Familiar can't die for him because it will make him lose the game. Bizarrely. Because if he draws a card, he'll deck before we do. This is very interesting. Now we've got some damage in the air, though. Oh, that's happening. Coat with Venom. Doesn't die. That's relevant. This clock is faster, though. Mm-hmm. This is a very strange... Uh-oh. Okay, that's bad. Wait, no. He's changed his mind. What? Do you not already cast a Soul Flare? I thought I already had. Has he got another one? Oh, he's got a Sib Sig Muck Draggers. Getting back his Soul Flare. This is becoming relevant again. Yep, that lets him exile with the dude. The Soul Flare. I think he's killing this. Oh, that can't block, so I wouldn't have done that if I was him. We're in chump mode now. Wow, why is he not attacking? That's a great... Oh, I don't want to draw a card, though. I don't want to draw a card. That sucks. We don't want to draw a card. I don't know why he's not attacking with the Soul Flare here. He will run out of cards before we do. He just realized that, doesn't he? So this regains is gone, so I can just cast this and sack it. I can cast this as well, actually. So let's get that down. Sack that, actually. No, we'll sack the 3/3. Is he countering this? Okay. He's got the Flash Flyer coming in at me. You gotta make him use the time. That's fine. Exploit something. He just eats that, so not a big deal. You don't have. He doesn't have a fast enough clock anymore. If he had been attacking with this, I don't. Unless I'm missing something, he really should have just been attacking with this. Uh-oh, what's this? That doesn't do enough. That really still doesn't do enough. I don't know why I wouldn't kill the Death Toucher either. He just doesn't have enough damage anymore, I don't think. Okay, okay. Trade. Trade. Take 4. Okay. Cool. Are we dead here? I don't think we're dead. Okay, look. Prevent the 4. This thing survives. I mean, strictly better than that, so. It's harder to kill too, so I'll cast it. Okay. Okay. God, this has been some grindy games in this video. He has to kill me right now. This has to be lethal. Get decked, buddy. Whoa. Right, that's it. Come on. That's probably just Magic Online crashing. Got there in the grindiest matchup ever because we managed to kill his Palace Familiar. Wow. That was a hell of a game. Thank you guys for watching. We won with 0 cards in library. Us on 3 life, him on 5. I could have taken him to 1 there, but I didn't bother. Thank you for watching. I've been Dennis. This has been a Dragons of Tarkir draft, and it went pretty well. I think we got a 2-1 out of it. Some sick games. One that we won on time, one that we won on decking our opponent just a card draw. So that's pretty nice. If you want to check out more from me and Oshin, you can check us out on youtube.com/windmill/mtg. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm at Strandjack. You can follow at windmill/mtg on Twitter as well. And you can check back here every second week for the finest in Magic content, and also sometimes we post videos here too. See you next